You're listening to What She Said on Canada Talks.
Hello there, I'm Christine Bentley in studio with Sharon Caddy, and joining us now is a young business dynamo. Her name is Sonia Zarbatany, and she runs Zarby International, based in Montreal. Welcome, Sonia.
Thank you. It's such a pleasure to be here.
So you have a pretty high-powered job, so why don't you describe it in a nutshell, if you can?
Absolutely. So my job is, the fashion industry is so fast-paced, and it really never stops. So I do everything from finding the next it brand. So I'm all about going to Europe, traveling the world, and really finding what brand are we missing in Canada, are we missing in the US, and then bringing it to Canada. And then I do everything from the development, the sales, the buying, the costings, and then the marketing and the product development. And the whole bringing the full brand to life.
That's so exciting.
It's very exciting. I never do the same thing twice. I travel almost every week or every 2 weeks.
Wow. Now, it's got to be hard, though, finding the next big thing, the next hot thing. What are the markers that you look for in culture, in life, that lead you to the next big thing?
What's really interesting is we're so on the beat of the industry and on the beat of what our marketplace needs and requires and what women really want. And we really focus, we have men's line as well, but with our women's line, we really want to focus in on what's the woman's need and where is the next niche. And that's how, with our example, our line Lujo, we saw that there was a big gap in the marketplace where corporate women wanted to look elegant and wanted to look stylish and beautiful, but they had these luxurious brands, or they had the Zaras, but they had nothing in between.
Right.
So what we then go ahead and we, as I travel to Europe and Italy and everywhere, I try to really keep my eye open for that so that we bring back a brand that's so exciting for the Canadian woman.
Now, have you ever had a brand that's flopped?
We've had brands, yes. We've had brands that we've taken, and there's something to be said about price point in Canada.
That's true.
There's, in the U.S., it's such a bigger market, and we've seen it now. You see the economy right now with like Target and with all these brands that are, not making it in Canada, and we have to remember we don't have the same population as the United States. So if we bring a brand with a higher price point, we love it. We think it's fantastic, but unfortunately, there's few retailers that we can really build a brand to. So that's a little bit where we have to give it back.
Those clients are very, very concentrated into small, like they're large centers, but I'm saying in small pockets.
They are, and the other thing
country.
is that they that woman who has a little bit more disposable income and who will put onto a high-priced item and will travel a lot. And she's actually shopping not in Canada, but she's going to go shop in New York. She's shopping in Florida. She's shopping in Europe, Italy. She's going right there. So, and she finds more of a selection as well because we can only bring in a few of these items because we don't have the mass population. That's where we really get to finding that balance of the right price points and the right selection as well.
Yes, but there's more to it than that. There is a talent, there is an eye that you have, that you can pick out something that all these other women that you don't even know are going to say, I have to have that.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a real talent. Where does that come from?
I was raised in the industry. I was literally, my father owned Guess Jeans in Canada.
Really?
That's
interesting.
He brought the license for all of Canada. So I remember literally going after school when I was 8, 9 years old, 10 years old, and going straight to the office and then really learning everything from the bottom up. So when you're constantly into the fashion industry, constantly learning from every part of the business, you really get to pick up on cues. And the part that I found that I had a little bit more of the qualities needed was that eye of finding the next brand and then building into a household name that everybody really wants.
Now, how important is attaching celebrity to those brands?
It's funny because in Europe it's really not important. And that's where I really find the difference, because as I bring in a lot of European and Italian lines, and I'm all about, we need to be seeding it in celebrities. It's so important in the U.S. and Canadian cultures to women want to see celebrities wearing them. They want to see, especially now, this whole celebrity culture of the Us magazines and all these, the Instagrams and everything. We're following these celebrities' lives, and these celebrities are constantly being gifted clothes because if they're wearing it, it's phenomenal advertising because
Right,
it
of
goes
course.
straight to your target market. So for us, it's become very, very important.
Well, we have a wish to be celebrities. We had Timothy Caulfield here,
That's right.
who was talking about exactly that we all want to be, apparently, celebrities. Young children now, that's what they aspire to. That's what do you want to be? Not a firefighter. I want to be a celebrity.
Yeah.
So I can understand that.
But I have, it's on that point. It's. I think that our children and our women need to have role models that are not just celebrities because they're popular and because they have a lot of followers. We need to kind of we need to really push the talent. We need to re-educate our girls to look up to some phenomenal women who have great careers and great moms and great, just really get those the real importance of life, of not just getting a whole bunch of followers and
That's right.
taking selfies.
And how important do you think it is for women to make sure when a certain style is hot, it may not be for them, and to have the strength or the courage to say, I know that's stylish, but it's not me. It's not me.
Absolutely. It's funny because that's why if I look at our brand portfolio, we have Vince Camuto, we have Sanctuary, we have Lujo, we have different brands for different women. And when we get to our 40s and we can't be we can't be dressing like a 20-year-old, and so we really need to get a denim, for example, that's tailored to a woman's figure in her 30s and her 40s, and not just in her 20s.
That's true.
And a tailored jacket, and that's why it becomes so important to find quality craftsmanship and really to look at elegant, feminine pieces that work with your age group and what you want to do for a living and how you want to present yourself.
Now, how did you get involved with Liu Jo?
I got involved because of exactly to our point. There was such a gap in the marketplace of corporate women, of women who have careers, who have jobs and want to look stylish, want to look elegant, and don't just want to be dressing at Forever 21 and Zara and also they don't want to pay the price points of these luxurious designer brands. So that was a huge need and void into the marketplace.
They want quality.
Exactly. They want quality, they want craftsmanship, and they want elegance. And what we found when we went to Italy and when we saw in Europe, there's, they're in 75 countries, there's 280 freestanding stores of Lujo. And we fell in love with the brand. Wow. The brand is absolutely stunning. Every time, we feature the brand, we wear the brand, it just makes you look so sophisticated and elegant. So that's what we want to bring to the Canadian woman.
Well, I'm just thinking that many of our listeners would not have heard that name.
No.
And they will be hearing it.
They will,
so
that's for sure.
What are your plans?
Well, our plans, so right now, it's funny because we're really excited because we get to launch the North American Lujo in Canada. And that's really, it's not always like that because most of the times it's always the U.S. who gets launched first and then we bring it into Canada, but we're doing it differently, and I'll tell you why. Why we chose to do Canada before is because our Canadian marketplace, it's all specialty boutiques. So we really get to have the relationship with our customers, the relationship with our clients that come and that wear it, and then we really build the brand from the ground up. So then once now we launched it in fall. We're in across all the high-end, beautiful specialty boutiques, and then we can roll out to specialty change and the likes of the Nordstroms, the Saks, the whole trend.
Would there ever be a freestanding?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Yes.
So is it going to be launched across the country?
It already is.
Yeah.
Oh.
It already is. So we launched Canada in fall.
In the fall?
In the fall, we've had phenomenal... What's great about Lujo as well is that we've launched the ready-to-wear. We've launched the outerwear and the denim as well for women. So, and the outerwear, the coats.
Oh, the coat you walked in with? My goodness, folks, if you could have seen this coat. It is stunning.
And
Absolutely
I get stopped
stunning.
all the time with these coats because they're so elegant. There's this trend in Canada of like this just wearing comfortable clothes. But we need to reprogram the women into being feminine again and into our outerwear. Where it's minus 30 outside. It's so cold. Yeah. But we don't just want this huge, bulky, unattractive jacket. We want to still be very feminine and stylish. So Lujo comes up with these outerwear coats that are fitted, that are feminine, and that just makes us so presentable.
But are still warm.
Exactly.
Well, this was my challenge exactly. I came out looking like an elegant wood chopper.
I like
That's
it.
exactly the way I felt. I
That's
mean,
so
I just
funny.
felt like I was lost in this coat, but it was warm, but I didn't really want to be seen in it.
Right.
I didn't even want to put it on, really. So this brand, does it cover the full line of everything?
It does. So that's what's
Nice.
so exciting about it. So it's full women's wear, footwear, handbags. The handbag I'm wearing as well now, outerwear, denim. It's really such a broad brand. And what we introduced to Canada is we introduced the ready-to-wear denim and the outerwear.
Nice.
Yes.
And then will you be expanding to everything else?
Absolutely,
gradually?
absolutely. But first, it's always about building the brand, about people knowing the brand, about going to find the brand, and then we keep expanding.
Well, this is exciting. We are going to ask you to stay over if you can. We're going to take a short break and talk a little bit more about some of the retail trends that are coming up from someone who needs to know and always has known in the past, Sonia. This is What She Said on Canada Talk Sirius XM. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
This is What She Said. I'm Sharon Caddy in studio with Christine Bentley and our guest, Sonia Zarbatany, Executive VP of Zarby International. Now, we were talking about Lujo, but that's one of the brands you represent. You bring in brands because you're targeting what women are going, well, women and men to a certain extent, women are going to be purchasing. So taking a look over your brands and what hot trends are coming up, it's 2015, what are we going to be buying?
So what we love about 2015 spring trends, which is coming up in February, you know, it's quite cold right now, but spring is right around the corner. What we love about Lujo is that it's really giving us that Italian elegance, that Italian craftsmanship right off the runway. We're going to see a lot of nautical. This nautical trend is so hot for spring right now. It's all about sheer transparencies, about feminine lace, about lightweight in our fabrics, metallics, embroideries. We're going to see a lot of embroideries
Really?
as well. Yes, and that we're going to pair and mix and match with denim, with great denims, with pajama pants as well. That's a huge trend for,
Yeah,
for spring.
I've heard that the wide pants are in with even cuffs.
Yes, cuffs are big. Cuffs are
Ooh.
big. So we're going to have trousers, but we're going to have them even, some cute little cut-off trousers as well. That's always really great. And what's great about Lujo is it's always mix and match that you can wear from day wear all the way to the evening. And that's what we love, because as we work during the day, we have cocktails, we have dinners, and we want to be able to look so elegant at work, but then throw on a blazer, change your pair of shoes, and then you're off for a nice evening.
You don't have to bring a whole suitcase.
No.
And let's not forget, ladies, this is the brand that introduced the bottoms-up jeans,
Yes.
the lift jeans,
Yes.
these sort of jean Spanx that make everybody look so good.
It's, I have to tell you, it's funny. I have a lot of jeans and premium denim in my, but these are my go-to pair of jeans. It's my travel jeans. I can't get out of these jeans. Why? Because it is so form-fitting. It is so elegant to all body types, because it's really, really, the technology in the denim itself is really accentuates your silhouette, and then we call it the bottoms up, because what it does is that it has this nice push-up effect, and
I need a pair of these.
we all need a pair of
need
these.
a pair of these.
So what happens is that it's an inverted yoke, and it has darts that emphasize the natural curve of a woman's body. So this denim, it's really funny because in Italy, 1 woman out of 3 is wearing Lujo jeans.
Really? That's interesting.
It's really, really strong. So they were the true initiators. Now a lot of other brands have also caught up to the bandwagon, because they realize we really, really enjoy when our everything is nice and tight. So the denim becomes truly a second skin onto our.
Where does the waistband land on these?
So we'll have different waistbands, just like we have different cuts as well. We'll always have our skinny. But the waistband is not too low, which is great because, especially from European brands, we always notice that the waistbands is really too low, and it's not what we're looking for. We're looking for a nice mid-rise or even a high-rise.
And is there a little bit of elastic in there?
Yes, you need elastic.
But
You need elastic.
remember the days gone by when jeans, Levi's, and they weren't as comfortable as people said they were, because there was no give.
And it's funny because the denim industry itself really went through a huge shift because there was a lowering in the denim industry because of all these leggings and all
yoga
of these
pants
pants, and there's so many new pair of pants that we were substituting for denim. So denim really truly became and showed us that we want elasticity. We want to be comfortable in our jeans, and we want to be able to travel in them and be comfortable in them all over the weekends.
So Sonia, you know, the way you're talking, I mean, it sounds to me like a 22-hour day. And you're a young mother.
Yes.
How do you balance that?
It's funny, my daughter is almost 2.
Aww.
And this morning I was leaving, and she knows when I pack a suitcase, she's like, am I coming or is this just you? So that's always the harder part, but I bring her everywhere. I bring her absolutely everywhere. If I travel more than 3 days, she's coming.
Oh,
so
that's
she's
wonderful.
been to Vegas when she was 6 months old at the Magic Trade Show. She's been really so many places, and that's my true blessing, is to be able to take her. She comes to work since she's 3 months old, and she's 3 days a week in daycare. 2 days a week she's at the office with me as well.
Sounds like a family tradition. This sounds sort of
Yeah,
like
she's
your upbringing.
getting into the business early. She's walking around with the handbags there. But it's, you know, what I found has been really great for me is it's all about scheduling your life. You know, you need to schedule, you need to be on a schedule, and you need to have a support system. You know, my groceries get delivered to my house. Everything that I can makes it so easy. I go on my lunch break. We try and pack in as much as we can as mothers and as CEOs and as, you know, business women. So we want to make sure that we're able to take both the family and make that a priority. Like at night when my baby goes to bed, my husband's the priority. My phone goes on silent. And, you know, we need to remember our husbands as well.
That's right.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Do you have any advice for young women coming up the ladder? I mean, you're really at a pinnacle, and you're pretty young. You worked hard, but you grew up in the industry. But there's so many young women who find it hard to kind of break through.
You know, a little bit just about my past. So I've been in the industry forever, but then I decided to leave my last exam in university. I moved the very next day to Los Angeles and became a life coach.
Wow.
So, yeah, it was very interesting for me because I didn't want to just be my dad's daughter and just keep in the industry. No. So I became a life coach, and that gave me tools to, one, be able to speak to other women and to empower other women and to really guide them, because, you know, it's so precious to have all these phenomenal, successful women rise up in an industry, and that's really great, but we need our support systems. We need to network. We need to be able to help each other and get mentors so that we know how to grow and surround ourselves with just absolutely positive people. That is
you're
so
speaking
important.
my language.
It's so important. And there's so many great events and so many great organizations around that you can really get part of. Like I just spoke at an event, Women of Influence.
Yes.
So I just was the keynote speaker a couple of weeks ago, and that's really great because you're able to see like-minded individuals with you. You're able to get some really good tips on how to improve whatever you're trying to improve, both, you know, in your social life and in your family life or in your business. And that is really something so important. And the other thing is, you know, I say that because I'm in the industry, but I say that because I truly mean it. Dress the part. Wherever you're trying to get to, dress the part. You never know who you're going to bump into. You never know. When you get to an event, when you walk out the door, if you're dressed properly, if you have on the nice, you know, and you're looking your best, you're feeling your best.
Energy you feel.
And you walk that talk. You know, it's really, and then people just gravitate to you, and they want to know what you do, and they want to know where you work out, and they want to know where you do this, and and that's really empowering. And for us to help other women and really truly be there for each other and ask for advice. So that's
great advice.
Yeah, it is great advice because, you know, women are very giving. We do have this sisterhood, and there are very few women who don't reach out and want to help another woman in a time of crisis or even a younger woman coming up. There's nothing better really than mentoring, is there?
I love it. I love it. I still do it. I will never stop being a coach. I still speak. And I give of my time because there's nothing more gratifying in life than giving back. It's not about you.
That's right.
It's not about the money. It's not about all this stuff is nothing. It's really who you're helping, who you're empowering, and who you're helping to grow. That's what really means something.
So, Sonia, you are your father's daughter, and now you have a daughter who you're taking along on the job. would it be a good thing if she followed in your footsteps?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a fun business. Listen, it's a fun business. It's a ever-changing business, and it's a business that really takes you to places where if you want to go into PR, you go into PR, advertising, marketing, design, creation, customer service. There really is so much about it. Trend analysis. Like, there's a lot to be doing in this business.
Really, in the fashion industry in general, I don't know that there's any other industry that can so directly impact the way a woman feels and create a positive feeling and a positive image than the fashion industry.
It's so funny. I do a lot of product knowledge presentations as well, and I look at women when they try on our clothes, when they go into the fitting room, and when they come back out, just their posture changes. They sit upright, they look at themselves, they smile. It's instant gratification, because if something fits well, and if you find the right outfit, it's like retail therapy. It's something, guys, you know? It's proven. I mean,
it's therapy,
you're not having a good day, go shopping.
That's true.
It'll be fine. Bye.
Well, Sonia, it's such a pleasure to have you join us, and I know I'm going shopping.
Yeah.
We're all going. I'm going shopping too.
I'm going to find out where they're selling.
Lujo?
Lujo.
Yes,
Absolutely.
look at it, lujo.com. We have a store located
Good.
all over Toronto, Canada at large, and soon U.S. This is very exciting.
There you go. Sonia Zarbatany, thank you so much for joining us, and check out Lujo online.
Click the channel subscribe button for full-length interviews and more from What She Said here on YouTube.